UFO podcast.
Yeah, you know what time it is.
It's your boy Baby Izzy.
It's your boy McGuire.
Oh man, how was your day today, McGuire?
Man, it was fine.
What were you up to?
I had to go see my my bad. I had to go see my grandma earlier. Nice, catching up with Granny. Just chopping it up, Then,
that's the wife of the man that we went to his birthday party?
No. That's my grandma on my mom's side. This one.
Oh, okay.
The man was my father's father. Shout out Grandpa. Shout out Granny.
Shout out Gramps. Shout out Nans.
We love the elder folks.
We love the elderly.
We love the elderly out here. How about you, man? What were you up to?
Bro, my auntie did laundry, so I had to help her out with that. Honestly, I got injected with my medication last night. Not last night, but during the day. Yesterday during the day.
Okay.
And I'm pretty like...
You wired up?
I'm like not too wired up. Too geeked.
Okay.
So I had to just chill this morning.
Okay.
Yeah. So today we're gonna interview Cris, No H.
We got Cris No H coming to the pod today. It's gonna be a fire interview.
He's on the other side of the room.
Just getting ready to pull up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We've been we dropped Izzy McGuire. By the time you heard this,
Yeah. Here comes our guest.
Yo.
We got Cris No H in the building.
Make yourself at home.
Make yourself cozy, man. Just take a seat, man.
Alright, bro.
And we just live, man. We live right now. It's a beautiful time.
Amazing. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
It's always a pleasure to have you, man. It's been 5 minutes since our last conversation.
Yeah, so we're just chopping it up about like how
our day
business
was.
moves and different artistic approaches endeavors we're gonna do. So Cris, the co-founder of Ctrl-S.
Ctrl-S.
Along with Renzi and McGuire.
Along with Renzi and myself.
So, what is Ctrl-S for you?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say because the thing is that Ctrl-S is not just me, Ctrl-S is a group thing. It's a little bit of me, a little bit of Renzi, a little bit of everybody. And so for me, Ctrl-S is really a community thing,
Community,
it's like
right.
The idea is to have all of us together and do our thing all together.
Beautiful.
Like a collective.
A collective, exactly.
Okay. So, you're basically like the head honcho, the head honcho, along with Renzi, and McGuire's just coasting. But not really. But he has his own. He has his input. But how did you meet Renzi?
Oh, Renzi was back where we're in school. Funny enough, music just connects people, right? So
yeah,
us making beats, we just connected like right away, And Renzi was at a different spot in his life where like he hadn't worked with other people the way he has now, right? And on the opposite of that, I was like surrounded by all these like people who they're in the music scene and all that, and like so it was like a match. It was a perfect match where it's like he had that on lock where it's like he likes making beats, he likes making music and all that, and I was with it too, so that was cool. And on the other end, I could show him, I did the connection between him and the studios and all that, and like
nice.
It was just a cool adventure from that point. But definitely it was just like just being in the study room and like seeing FL on the computer, it just you're like, oh, you're on FL too, bro. Okay, what's up? What you do?
Okay.
That's how
Okay. What's your favorite song on Purple Bloom from the Ren?
That's a good question. Purple Bloom, I would definitely go with BBB. BBB has just hits. It's been. I mean, I come from a different. I come from a different perspective. I've listened to the multiple versions that existed of that beat beforehand.
Right.
And I think that seeing the evolution of that song and how it's been changing all that.
From what it became and what it turned out to.
Exactly. That I feel like that's what leads for me to have that song as my favorite.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. So how long have you been making beats for?
A while, bro. A while. I would have to say that I'm probably maybe 12, 13 years deep, something like that.
Do you remember the first beat you tried to emulate? Like you the first beat you heard, you're like, I want to recreate that sound.
I don't recall that, but I do recall when I was beginning of like my producing career. I was listening to a lot of French rap at the time.
French rap, huh?
Yeah,
could you give me a couple of names?
Yeah, definitely. Cris was one of them. He was really cool. Booba, the big names at the time.
Oh, I know one Booba song. Shout out to my French friend Umar in where I work. Not French, but what's he from? Guinea? Yeah, some Guinean friend. He telling me about Booba and other French rappers. Shout out to Umar. Okay, I see.
African.
And then so what? You were making like French music type beats, like French rap type beats initially.
Yeah, I would say so. Actually, this is how it all started for me. Like when I began this journey, it was mostly like it was mostly just me learning how to use FL, but like not to your regular extent, to the fullest extent of what the DAW can do.
Okay, so FL was the first DAW off the rip.
Yeah. I hadn't touched anything before.
No GarageBand, none of that.
None of that.
Other shit. Okay.
Yeah, so it was FL. It was brand new, and I would even go as far as I was probably even like slower in terms of like knowing the regular stuff than other people would normally.
Do you remember
know.
the first person you seen using FL, or like how did you go from nothing to FL? You know what I mean? Like how'd you go from making music to FL?
Really simple. I talked to this one guy from high school. I told him like, yo, like I've heard that like making beats is fun and this and that. Like how would that go? And he's like, oh, I have a cousin or something like that. He was telling me about one of his cousins being like into music like that and whatever. And then he was like, oh, he uses this thing called FL Studio. But I mean, at the time it was called Fruity Loops.
Which version?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't remember actually.
The first one that you downloaded?
Yeah, I don't remember that, but it was a while ago. It was probably like 8 or something.
8, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
Damn.
For reference, what's FL Studio at now?
28,
22.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, so that's how you know Cris in Malaysia. That's an OG of the when it comes to FL.
Probably like 7 or 8, something like that. Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Damn.
Was there anyone that you wanted to collab with when you first started making beats? Where you're like, yo, I want to hear this guy on that shit.
To be honest, nah. Because when I started, the idea was not to get to somewhere or whatever. It was just like pure passion. It was just the idea was just to make beats. It was just to have fun making it.
Right.
I wasn't thinking that far ahead.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. So if you had to put 3 producers on one beat, what if you pick 3 producers?
Okay.
Anybody poppin'?
Okay.
On one beat, and what would they do? Like, who would be on the the drums, who would be on the melody,
Okay.
who would be on the snares, the 808s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd probably go with like I would put Metro on drums.
Yeah.
I would put myself and Metro on drums.
Okay.
Both me and Metro would work on the drums.
Let's go.
And then, you know, I would probably want somebody on the keys, like somebody nice.
Little Zaytoven.
Yeah, I gotta go with Zaytoven.
Beethoven on the keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out Zaytoven. His son has been going crazy.
Shout out Zaysky.
with the snippets, man.
W nepotism.
W nepotism.
And anybody else?
he's
Anybody
doing
else you wanna put on the beat?
You, Zay, Metro.
Yeah, you said 3 producers, right?
Yeah, well.
Okay, you said myself, eh? Damn.
Oh, okay.
Man, that's on
With
the
somebody
table.
else.
With you, 3 others.
I think I would have to go with like what I would consider the GOAT of all times, which is Baby Izzy, bro. I would have to go with you,
Jeez,
bro.
okay.
Ooh.
Baby Izzy, Metro, Zaytoven, Cris, No Age.
I don't even think I can freaking.
Leave it go stupid, man.
I don't think I can like
Contribute?
I would just look.
Nah.
I would just cuck.
Nah.
You know how you
Producer
contribute?
cook.
You put you first you drop in with a little sample. Let them cook on the rest. You know?
Yeah.
You first,
Yeah, you
do your
can-
part. You do your
can
part.
definitely do that.
You just do your part. And let them cook with the rest, man.
You're good. You're good with the counter melodies and stuff like that.
Okay.
I feel like you could just let Zay do his thing on the keyboard, and then you could just add a little something here and there.
Yeah.
Counter melody. That's a cool word. That's a cool word.
Respect. Whole respect.
Rumor has it. I heard around the word around the grapevine is that you had a wild experience at a Mike Schaap show a long time ago.
At the Cardi show.
At the Cardi show.
Oh, at the
Remember,
Cardi show.
yeah, he opened up for Cardi, and then
In KK.
you were in the mosh pit.
You were in a
going
mosh
crazy.
pit. Something about mosh pit. Apparently, you were.
Yeah. Yeah, mosh pits are crazy just in general, bro. Regardless of who's on stage or regardless of what's going on, bro. Just being in the mosh pit is always
in a
I-
mosh
a crazy experience.
I
agree,
remember.
I
I
agree.
remember we were there, and then Cris just dove in, and then I was like, "Yo, Cardi didn't even start," and then just Mike Schaap went crazy, and then Cris was like, "Yo, dog, I need some water, dog."
Yeah, no. I feel like for some reason, like the way I personally experience that, it's always like mosh pits are always like a near death experience, you know?
Oh, you have to almost die, huh?
You always have to be to that full
That's
extent
so
of, like,
fucking funny because I went to a Lucky concert a long time ago with Renzi and fucking Dio, and then like we walk in and Dio's just like jumping in like a child, like fucking like a kid in like a ball pit, but it was a mosh pit, and this nigga's jumping in, pop, vibing. I'm getting tossed around left and right. I have no footing. I look to my behind me. The stairs are like deep. Like there's no there's no exit. I'm just like, oh my god. Eventually I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I'm looking for Renzi. Renzi's like gone. Everyone's out of my fucking like my peripherals. I can't see shit. Yeah, I'm sorry. I realize that you can't stand still in the mosh pit. You gotta constantly jump.
Yeah.
So I'm jumping backwards, going back. Who's in the way? I'm swimming backwards. Anybody can get the fuck off of me. I got out. I got that shit. I was like, never again.
And one thing about concerts, if you go with a couple of homies, all of you are gonna have a unique experience because you're gonna lose them.
That's right.
You're gonna lose them.
You're gonna lose them. Yeah, that's right.
That's exactly what happened with the Cardi one.
Yeah.
Because we went downstairs, right, into the crowd,
Yeah.
and then as soon as the beat hit, I just look around. You're not next to me anymore. You just disappeared.
Yeah, no, I stayed in the back.
I
I just go in when I like the song.
Yeah, fair. I went upstairs. I just watched it from the upstairs.
Oh man, what's your
Man.
favorite concert you've been at?
It was probably that one, bro. It was probably the Cardi one.
The Cardi one was
nice.
Yeah, it was. You know what really
magical.
made the difference for me? It was that as soon as the concert started, there was the purge sound.
Oh yeah,
and that set the tone from the
It's
beginning.
homicide type thing.
yeah, and then Cardi was like, "If you're scared, get the out. If you're scared, get the out." And
That set the tone from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, that was a lot of energy, and I like that. It was fun. It was actually fun.
That's
any honorable mentions of concerts that were nice?
Yeah, definitely. St. Pablo tour, Kanye.
That was my first concert.
That was
Nice,
really cool
nice.
stuff. Yeah.
Kanye as your first concert is crazy.
Yeah,
That's
it's weird. It's seeing like your idol.
You know, right in front of you.
Yeah, it's
I'm off the meds right now.
No, I was not on the meds back then, and he I don't think he was either.
Everybody was sober.
Yeah, no, we were not sober.
Nobody was sober.
Nobody was sober, though.
Yeah.
I was dead.
Oh man.
But it was a crazy experience, especially because Kanye is Kanye at the end of the day,
Yeah, thanks.
and like he was so like he was an artist. You know what I'm saying?
It was Kanye.
It was like so cinematic.
That's still
Nothing
Life of
is
Pablo
normal.
Kanye. That's still some legendary
And
shit.
the stage was floating around.
Exactly. It's not normal. It's not normal
Yeah.
stuff.
So like we saw him from close and from not that
It
far.
was moving around, huh?
Yeah.
It keeps moving around.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes up higher, and then sometimes it gets really low.
People were holding onto the stage.
Yeah, at times.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
And this was probably that was probably his last go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably like-
fair. Because after that, he became, yeah.
Yeah. So
Alright.
caught it at the right time. Bro.
Dapped him up. That's crazy. I dapped him up.
You did him up?
Because at the end of the show, the platform where he's like rapping on,
He's
he
reaching out?
goes down, and then they were blocking us. So security was there and all that, but he got close to the people, and I just kind of went like extended the hand, and he dapped me up, and I was
Clenched
like,
everything?
I was like,
Okay.
I would have freaked out.
I was happy.
I'm never washing my hand again. Nice, yeah. Okay. Mosh pit stories are crazy, man. Okay, how? You're a very busy guy, Chris. You're a married man, a borderline. you work a 9 to 5. You own you're a third part owner of
A label.
the label, if you will.
Yeah,
Producer,
exactly. Yeah.
you know? Like how does one manage all that? Does it get stressful?
Yeah, it does. For everybody listening to this podcast, there's 2 bozos in the back. bozo shit. So, but yeah, just to answer to the question, but yeah, so for me to answer the question, I would have to say that I do have to admit I'm not the best at handling all that stuff. Sometimes
You're human.
I do mess up on certain parts. Sometimes I'm not home enough, or sometimes I'm not making beats for like a week,
Okay.
or even more time. Sometimes I'm trying to handle everything at the same time, and it's not always like the easiest thing. But I feel like scheduling helps a lot. Obviously,
Scheduling,
making sure that my schedule. I take time for each of these aspects of my life.
Yeah.
And then besides that, it's just like those to-do lists. I always like to write my to-do
Little
list.
to-do
Be like,
list.
oh, let's not forget this. Let's not forget that.
That's good.
And yeah, that's how I tried my best to handle it.
Okay, so like as an accomplished man, you work a really good job. You're in a very good and serious relationship.
That's what I asked.
What keeps the fire and desire for producing?
I think it's just a passion, bro. It's at the end of the day, that's like my it's been my thing for, like I said, like the last 13 years. I feel like not not making beats, after a while I feel it. It's like an itch. It's like, oh, I need to get back to it. Like, you know, it's been a while or whatever. And that's why there was a moment in my life where like my computer was kind of fucking up on me and all that, and I didn't have the money to just like go and get a new one, whatever. And especially at that time, I was trying to like, I was not trying to buy the first thing I can, you know. I was trying to upgrade, and that meant me putting in more money and all that. So I did spend like a few months. I would even go as far as to say at least a year, where it's like I wasn't being able to like make beats like that on the regular, and that kind of bothered me, to be honest, a lot. It was a hard time for me because I would make like the headspace or the mind space, whatever way you want to say it. I would make that space in my mind would be like, okay, I'm gonna try to make beats and this and that, but I couldn't. So that space in my mind was being taken for beats, but it was like kind of wasted. So it was a weird moment, but yeah, nah, things have changed. I bought my computer, obviously.
The fire is back on now.
Yeah, exactly. I was able to go back to that, and yeah, now like I'm just back to that.
Man.
Yeah. So what kind of big moves are you trying to do?
Oh, I'm the type of person that doesn't like people to know my next move.
Yeah.
Like that. But I do have to say that I have a lot of I don't plan on making a lot of beats, like single beats with people. I am looking forward to making like whole tapes. That's what I can say. I'm about to collab with a bunch of people from within Ctrl-S, from outside of Ctrl-S. But I do want to make like a lot of like tapes with people.
Okay. Outside of those people, who's your dream collab?
Dream collab?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't think there is. You know, I would say that growing up, listening to Kanye and all that, obviously that would have been one of them. And then eventually, you know, Thugger was like, he became that guy for me. He was just like he was an inspiration for me. The thing is that, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but like things have changed, you know, through time. Like I would end up having a new favorite artist of the moment, or this or that. So like I wouldn't say that there's anybody that I would want more than any other, but definitely like, you know, the people I grew up with, like Kanye and like, you know, Chief Keef and all of them.
Okay.
Obviously these people, like it would be a thing for me.
Okay, nice. Well, you're not just a producer. You're also mixing and recording. How's the journey?
That's been one crazy journey to me. Obviously, for me, okay, basically this is how it goes. I got into the whole mixing, like being an engineer, right? I got into it thinking that it would be the same way that you do beats, in terms of like, oh, you're still making music, you're still like, but I feel like the creativity is very different, and that's where I had to shift and like learn how to be creative while still like trying to respect, you know, somebody else's vision and trying to respect somebody else's you know, end goal.
Do you feel like as a producer, since you're a producer originally, do you feel like engineering is requires less creativity than producing?
I would say so. I wouldn't say that there is no. I can't say there's no creativity in the mixing aspect of it, but definitely, I feel like there's much more to it when it comes to making beats, right?
Okay. Okay. So, you've been at this for a long time, 13 years. No EPs?
No EPs.
No producer EP, no beats.
I've done some stuff. There has been a couple releases back in the day, but those things are off the internet now.
Okay. The only one I know of is the 2021 collab you have with the Ren. Were there other ones?
There was like actual like beat EPs out back in the day. Very long time ago.
On SoundCloud.
On SoundCloud. SoundCloud days. I was on there.
You dropped like one beat a day.
That was one thing. That was a thing. It was like the whole month of November. I don't know what year, and I was just dropping a beat every day.
Back to back,
you know, for the whole month, and that was actually really fun thing to do and all that. The thing is that the reason why those things are not on the internet anymore is because of like that evolution that I went through of like learning how to make beats better and the mixing and this and that, and I think my end goal is to put that back out there still, because I know that maybe those beats are a little bit outdated. People wouldn't appreciate them the way they could have been appreciated back in those days. But I still feel like, you know, they still mean something to me, right? It was still a moment in time, and I feel like, you know, people can. I would want people to go back to that still. The thing is that I still would want people to be able to appreciate the vision that I had, and for that I would have to like mix them properly, and maybe I had an idea for a sound, but I just went with whatever I could, whatever I had at the time.
You want to go through that whole process. I feel like you wouldn't think that'd be better to just drop them all, just get them off the chest, and like those are my old ideas, but wait till you hear my new shit. Like I'm already off of this. I
feel like you're right. Like I could just simply just drop it and just leave it behind me, but the thing is that like I don't feel like that is stopping me from working on new stuff. You know, I feel like I wanna have like a very concise image out there when it comes to, or not image, but a concise sound. Okay. And I feel like I would want people to be able to understand that, you know.
Okay, makes sense. Making beats is you've taught me a few things earlier today.
What did he teach you?
He taught me it was on the piano roll. Well, I guess you were mentioning that too, with the whole major, C major, or not with the whole. You can change the whole
the scale,
the scaling of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But then I can make like the patterns unique.
Yeah.
I was kind of thrown off by that. There's some other shit too, but I mean, I can't get into detail with it without my computer in front of me, so yeah. I can't really describe it. But helped me out a little bit, and. So yeah, all right. Where are we at right now?
Well, we're at around 30 minutes.
Half an hour.
Yeah, that was like we wrote so many questions, yeah, but it went by so fast.
That went by fast. All right.
Man, what are your hobbies outside of music?
Yeah,
I like hiking. I like nature related stuff. So like hiking. I just bought myself a new bike, so I love going riding. You know, around
biking.
Yeah.
Montreal in the summer, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Top tier city.
Yeah, definitely. So I love being in the outdoors like that.
Okay, biking, hiking.
Year of Nicaraguan descent.
Yep.
I'm crazy food over there.
Big respect on that.
Did you know that Theo Von was also a Nicaraguan?
Yes, I am aware of it. Which I like. I like the idea. He's really funny. So
he's a funny guy.
He's a really funny guy. I've watched so many of his podcast stuff and all that. So yeah, I'm a big fan of his. So yeah, it just makes sense.
I just heard your stomach. Did you eat?
Nah.
You didn't eat that?
I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
Oh man.
Oh, we can't eat meat today.
Nah.
Did you eat meat today?
Nah.
Damn.
Oof.
You know. I had to down one of those Beyond Burgers from A&W.
Oh yeah, you enjoyed it?
I feel like I cheated.
Nah, it's not meat.
Tastes like meat.
Yeah,
Tastes like meat. Looks like meat. It's not meat though.
Shout out to the A&W
Beyond Burger.
Beyond
Beyond
meat.
Burger.
Yeah, this is
Those
probably
are good.
human meat though.
It's like bean and paste, something like that. What else is important to you? Okay, wait. This is going. You've been in a studio, and now you're in the process of making your home studio. What are the differences that you find between cooking up at home and cooking up in the stew?
There's two major things that for me that make the difference between being in the studio or being at home. And I would say the first one is obviously like when I'm in the studio, I feel like and this is the whole reason why I wouldn't want to be mixing at home or whatever. I mean, it's not that it's impossible. I'd rather not. I'd rather do it in a professional studio. And it's the difference between a treated room and a non-treated room. I feel like it makes so much of a difference. So not that I cannot like treat my home studio or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just that I haven't. So so that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And the other big difference I would say is that I like separating things a lot, right? So I think I like the idea of being in a space that's only for that. Meanwhile, at home, at the moment,
It's not
I do a lot of like work from home, and so I use the same desks to work my 9 to 5 than I do to make my own beats, right?
Okay, so it's not.
So it's like
it's enthusiastic, you know.
Well, I mean, I am. I tend to be a lot, but the thing is that the issue is that sometimes I have a lot on my mind. So it's like when I'm making the beats, like I can be distracted. I'm gonna say it like that.
Okay. UFO podcast.
Oh man. So we're just gonna freestyle a little bit. No, we're not gonna freestyle.
You have a love for Shake Your Dreads music. Is it because you used to have dreads?
Oh yeah. I used to braid my hair. Yeah.
Okay. Was Waka Flocka an influence growing up?
Bro, that's the most random shit you could ever say. Nah.
Shout out Waka Flocka.
Shout out Waka Flocka. Shout out Waka Flocka. His wife is from Nicaragua.
Say wait.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah, she's amazing. And I mean I grew up listening to his music. He's an amazing rapper. His energy was wild back in the day.
Yeah.
But the thing.
What they do? Parents talk about eau de toilette.
Say word.
That's not shit. I'm spreading false information right there. That's bad.
But yeah, no, I don't think he was ever part of that. Actually, I feel like the biggest person to really have some part of influence in there would be my brother. My brother used to have when he was in high school.
Really?
He had dreads or braids?
Braids, yeah.
Okay. Let's say your brother does not look like he had like a long hair before. Like, but neither do you, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, when I'm gonna be his age, I want to be doing the same thing and this and that, and so
nice.
And it was a whole journey because like my mom was really against it. My mom hated me having long hair, and like one time she just shaved my fucking head, bro.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was fucking crying. I was like, bro, this is like a year of like, growth. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy.
Insane.
And then I tried again. I didn't let it go, and eventually my hair started getting long, and it was cool. I was feeling it.
Okay. Those are the drip days.
Drip days.
Well, are you still into like fashion, or I know we toned it down. We're more on the comfy side. Shout out Jerry Lorenzo. Shout out Lululemon.
Shout out Lululemon. I love the brand. I am still somewhat tapped in terms of like I still like to be like knowing what's going on and this and that, but Yo, I'm so much about my basics now, bro. It's just just basics, bro.
Simple as that.
And that's the whole reason why I'm and for anybody listening to this, bro. If you ever see me in the streets, there's like a 99% chance you're gonna see me wearing all black. It's just I wear one color and I just go with like the most basics of things, and that's it, bro. And that's my style. Like at the end of the day, I not only do I feel good in it, but I also feel like it. Like if you find good basics, if you find like a quality thing or whatever, like that goes over anything else.
What pieces are you like interested in buying in the near future? It could be like wild things. I'm
gonna be honest with you,
because you know we're aiming for the moon, you know.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think there's anything that's wild that's like out there that I'm really looking forward to.
Really?
Yeah, nothing really that crazy right now. That I can think of.
Really? Oh, okay.
But there's definitely like sneakers from like back in the days where we were like sneakerheads a little bit more and all that.
Oh yeah. Well,
I would probably go back to like certain shoes because I was like, yo, I had those or I wanted those and I couldn't afford them or whatever.
Anything specific?
The Air Yeezys were something for me. The ones and the tools. The tools were amazing. The Red Octobers.
You can't buy those anymore because they'll fall apart.
Yeah,
that sucks.
They fall apart on your foot?
Yeah, they crumble.
They're so old.
They're so old, man.
The material is like
rotting.
Over time is just.
Is that with any shoe or is that
Well, if you wear it, it tend to like stick together and.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Damn.
You gotta wear your shoes.
Yeah.
You gotta wear your shoes every now and then, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's an interesting thing. I need to know the origin story between you two, between Baby Izzy and Cris No Age.
We were mortal enemies at first.
Was it a dislike of each other's shirts?
No. One time, I hit him in the nuts. We were boys at first, cause we have a mutual friend named Shaq.
Okay.
And he's our good boy. Shout out to Shaq. And we were hanging out, but like, then we just. Like we just saw each other and then started hitting each other in the nuts, and it was up. It was up and it was stuck, and then he caught me in the middle of the street once.
Now, is it like kicks to the nuts or like low
No,
blows?
straight up, fist to nuts.
Fist to nuts, eh?
Fist to nuts.
And
no diddy.
Wow.
He caught me in the middle of the street once, and it was like a fatality.
Okay.
Yeah, you fell to the ground, bro.
Yeah, I fell to the ground. I was like, oh.
And when you fell, you knew this would be my man's. That's my slime.
No. Actually, you know, what's funny? Is that we kind of stopped hanging out, like, towards the end of, like, high school. We stopped hanging out together.
Right.
And then, like, later on, it's just, like, we just, like...
Life just brought y'all back together.
Yeah, we just, like...
We're like, oh, yeah.
So, like, when was the time where you get... After high school, you guys split ways. You guys are both living your lives. When's the next time you hear from Cris? Do you remember?
It's through Spooka.
Yeah.
We were hanging out with Spooka.
At that time,
it was all three. It was just all three of us.
Yeah.
Locked in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Making beats and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Benji was more in his
rapper bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout outs to Benji Yashi. Like, you know, there's two songs that marked me, and this is the whole reason why today me and Benji are still hanging out together is because when we got back to being friends and hanging out, I was already like, you know, I was probably like a year or two into making beats,
right?
And he was rapping, and I didn't know that. Like when we started hanging out in high school, we didn't know that we were
exactly okay.
So like when we started hanging out again, and then we were like, oh, we can connect on this, and the two beats was the Bill O'Reilly beat which was
I Go Dumb Like Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah, I Go Dumb Like Bill O'Reilly.
It,
That was a thing.
it hit like 1,500 plays organically
On SoundCloud?
on SoundCloud one time ago.
That and the other one was Noodles. Noodles and
The
and
cringiest song.
Nah, don't say that. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't think you should say that. Because like that song compared to the Bill O'Reilly one, that song was like, oh, you got bars. It made me realize that you had like that potential, that you had like
Okay.
you know, that you were that guy.
What kind of beat was that? Like, it was like trap? You were like,
No,
it was
boom bapping it?
Yeah.
No, it was like boom bap, but like
It was
like
boom bap.
like an electronic type boom bap.
like Mr. Nice Watch J. Cole?
Yeah, sure, I guess.
It was. I remember it as really boom bappy though. I
It was
remember
boom
it as
bappy?
really,
It was like
really
GTM boom bap?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, and I remember listening to that and it was like, yo, Benji Yashi's a star, you know, and I want to work with him.
Makes sense. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
And I remember when we came up with the tag, "What You Cooking, Cris?"
Yeah,
We tried to record a song in his crib,
Mm.
and I was like, "What you cooking, Cris?"
And you recorded that?
Yeah.
Okay, and that was
That was the tag for. That was my tag for
before
years, bro.
Okay.
For many years.
Wow.
Shout out to Awa for revamping the tag. It's way sexier.
You gave it life, Awa.
Yeah. The reasoning behind it though is actually kind of good if you ask me. The reason behind me doing that revamp on the tag is I had heard from a lot of people telling me like, oh, I don't understand the tag. They couldn't make out the words. They couldn't make out what Benji was saying, and it's normal because Benji, like, think about it. We were recording this so many years ago,
mics.
and it was like a USB mic. That
a
was
lot
like,
of effects on it.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of random stuff that we didn't even know how to mix it. So it was like
a concoction of just shit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why a lot of things that I would hear most of the time is like, oh, I thought it was like bubbles, like a bubbles sound, and I was there like, nah, that was my tag, and so I was like, yo, let me redo it and make it like, you know, I want to be able to be like, you know, hear it
nice and clear and sexy.
Yeah. You guys gonna be hearing that a lot throughout the summer.
Yeah.
Whole lot of What You Cooking, Cris. Stay tuned.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
Oh, right, it's true. Before we mention that, Cris is low-key master chef also. Master chef in the stew.
And Master Chef in the Kitch.
In the Kitch, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, like you asked.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to cook?
Beats, bro.
Beats, huh?
I love
what kind of
cooking
yellow
beats.
beets or red beets?
Nah, for real. I love making beats for sure. But if we're talking about food, bro, there's nothing better than like doing a little cookout during summer.
A little steak.
Yeah, you know, like some good chicken.
A little grilled chicken. I'm a big grilled chicken guy, bro.
Yeah. I love that.
Shout out grilled chicken. Shout out to all the chicken who died for to be grilled.
Shout out to Costco for killing those baby chickens 6 weeks old.
But you know, it had to be done for that sharpened that charbon taste. You know, that taste of char.
Yeah, the charcoal.
That char taste.
Yeah.
I almost did a selfless plug.
But yeah, one thing I can say though, like for the people out there, I think one of the reasons why I'm able to cook so good, it has to do with the idea of me being a producer in the first place. Because the same way I see a lot of things that are in common in between like
cooking beats and cooking in life.
Yeah, high frequencies or like acidity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can see all of that the same way. The same way, like, you know, like I was showing you earlier. Like when I make a beat, I like to do a compilations of different sounds, right? So I make sure that when I add something, it sounds good with the rest. The same way I would say, like, if I'm adding some spice to my mix, I'm making sure that it blends well with what was there before.
Okay, makes
So
sense.
it's like it's a blend of spices that are gonna make sense together. And then if I'm adding something like a side dish or whatever, I'm making sure that it works with the main dish, and you know. So
Okay. It's not just random.
no. And like I said, there's a lot of like stuff in common with just making beats, you know.
Benji, I know you throw down too
In the
in
kitchen?
the kitchen.
Yeah.
Low key, who you guys think? Who you think could make a better?
Chris.
Really, eh? Humbly.
No, yeah, humbly. I just follow whatever's whatever
Off the
recipes
YouTube,
out
off the
there.
YouTube,
Of the Google.
of the Google. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't need the video. You can just give the
Yeah,
recipe.
just yeah.
And you can get going.
One thing I used to like making is like shish taouk chicken.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's actually
Okay.
good stuff.
And how, wait.
You just marinate it in yogurt or whatever. I don't know.
Yogurt, eh?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you put it under the oven, or
Yeah, no,
pan?
just on the pan back in the day.
I would do those on the grill as well.
yeah.
And nowadays,
yeah.
you know, with the new stuff, I would definitely air fry it.
Oh, air frying, yeah. Air frying is definitely the wave.
Yeah, trust. I need to get one though.
Yeah, same.
Shout out to
I'm gonna be honest.
shout out to Spooko for breaking my air fryer.
I'm gonna be honest though. I feel like the air fryer is a little bit overrated.
What is that?
I feel like it is really useful, but like, I don't feel like we need a whole other machine to do something that the other machines that you already have can make. You have an oven, you have a stove, you have like microwave. I don't feel like you need a whole other machine.
No, because like, I mean, is it true though that like, it's frying it? Is it really frying?
It
It's
cooks
not-
potatoes really good.
Because like I
It's
know
not
that.
frying it though.
Because like oil.
There's no oil. You don't add oil to it. The oil is what's frying it, right?
Right.
It's called air frying because they're trying
It's
to market it differently.
pressurized onion oven. I don't know.
Is it
Okay,
pressurized? I don't think it's
okay.
pressurized, bro. I think it's just
Just
it's
windy hotness.
It's
exactly the wind. The wind. It's just basically, you know what it is? It's a oven with a fan. That's
hot
like
wind.
that's like, you know, like making sure that the airflow is hot.
But if you cook potatoes a lot, and especially if you do it in oil, it's like not that big of a difference if you do it on a air fryer.
Really?
Yeah, you save a lot of calories by doing that.
On the air fryer.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah, because
It's
you're
like
not
oil.
dipping it in oil.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, especially if you get like
So like frying
McCain
chicken,
fries, yeah.
frying chicken. Let's say like I just did the whole batter. Air
I think
fryer.
you can do that too, no?
Yeah, I've done it. I've done some fried chicken, if you want air fried chicken, I guess. But I personally I can tell the difference still.
Yeah.
But obviously it's not bad. Like, I mean, if I was to recommend it, I would still. But I'm just saying, like, I don't feel like it's a necessity. Like, I'll give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
My oven broke, and therefore I was like, yo, instead of paying like $1,000 for a new
Stove, yeah.
new stove and all that, I was like, yo, might as well just get a little air fryer for a couple $100.
Okay.
So that's the whole reason why I have one. But if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't even have one.
Yeah, because you can't put a lasagna in a damn air
Air
fryer.
fryer,
You know?
Yeah.
No.
I've done it actually, but it was a very small one though. Yeah, it was like a personal
do you
size.
prepare the lasagna on the air fryer bowl then?
No, not
And
in
then
the.
you just.
I put it in like
Low
a.
till foil.
No, I put it inside of like a glass one.
Oh.
Like the small,
okay.
small ones that go in the
Into the-
oven. I prepared that there, so it was like a single person. It was like a for one person type thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, we cooking up in the kitchen.
Cooking up in the kitchen, cooking up in the stew,
Yeah.
wherever it be, you know what it do.
I guess
Where we at right now?
we're at like 45 minutes, I think.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. We ran through the questions already.
Ran through the questions. Now it's
This is
rapid
bonus.
fire. Rapid fire questions.
Between the producer Freaky and the producer Oh, I don't know any of the Montreal producers.
Who? I see. There's a lot of Montreal producers doing their thing. I see. I just saw yesterday. A fellow Latino producer, King Alex.
King Alex Beats. Yeah.
Oh.
He produced for Shakira.
Shout out to King Alex Beats.
Shout out to King Alex.
So he's doing his thing. Happy for him.
Produced for Shakira. Then.
Yeah, that's dope.
Shakira, eh? Jeez.
So now, like, it's like, sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I do admit that I haven't tapped in too much with the Latino side of
Montreal.
Of Montreal.
Apparently there's some guys.
Okay, this community, eh? Are you tapped in with the Montreal producer community?
Not as much as I would like to.
Right.
But I do know like things here and there for sure and all that. But the thing is that I think the beginning of my journey in music was very solo, right? It was just me, myself, in my room, like locked in, and so although I did through Benji, I did learn how to like reach out to people a little bit.
Yeah,
it's never my main focus to reach out to people, and it's not like I don't like people. It's not like I don't want to work with other people. It's just that it's not it's not a thing for me, you know. I just don't do it like automatically like that.
Okay. But you would like to?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I would definitely love to start like hanging out with people and all that, and just like learning from them too. You know, sometimes you're hanging out with somebody's doing beats very differently.
Yeah, exactly. You can always learn.
So, I don't know. My question was stupid as hell.
Then ask it, bro.
I was gonna ask.
So, who's your favorite? Could have been love contestant.
Yeah, that shit hit 3.3 million views in under 24 hours.
That's crazy.
If you had to pick two,
nuts.
Shout out to Juski.
That was Juski.
Me personally, Switcheroo.
And Daddy Yankee.
I like Daddy Yankee.
Yeah.
Daddy Yankee.
But I was honorable mention Meatball. I love Meatball.
Meatball's the one with the pink hair?
No, the one with she has her stomach out.
So that really Meatball? the one who's obviously here for the money, but pretending they. Man, Switcheroo for me.
Switcheroo is definitely beautiful.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan of none of them, Oh man, one of the best shows out right now.
Yeah, piece of juice. What are your plans with your solo EPs? Are you planning on doing any solo EPs, or is it just gonna be collabs that you mostly want to get your hands on?
I definitely want to get into solo EPs eventually, but right now my main focus, and this is gonna be like this for a while. My main focus is definitely going to be like working with people.
Collabs, getting the collab EPs done.
Yeah. Are EPs? What's more of a priority, EPs or placements?
Personally, I would go with EPs.
Okay.
And the reason why, for me, it's what I want is simply because I know I'll have more fun.
Okay.
Being somewhat of a,
you
executive producer of something, right?
You want a project to your name.
Yeah. Exactly, like being able to be like, it's not just this one song or this one thing, whatever. It's like it's a whole thing. It's like a whole EP where I had my hands on every single beat, or at least most of them, stuff like that. I feel like it's more fun, and it means also spending more time with the artist, building a bond, and trying to like show the world that bond as well, at the same time.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like, what are placements you think that you think are like best suited for you at the moment with your sound? Any artists come to mind?
No, nobody like specifically. I would say like placement wise, but I do think that I've always looked up and always listened to like more of the old heads. I would say it like that. But I would feel like the best people who I could have a placement with would probably be like the new generation of like rappers and all that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It would be like the new guys. And yeah, I felt like that would make more sense. But in my heart, obviously, it would be more like the people I've been listening to for the last 10 years or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
UFO podcast, keep it raw and gutter.
UFO podcast. You here, man? Chris No H in the building.
Cris No H.
Okay, here's the last question. We're about to hit the hour mark.
The what?
We're about to hit the hour mark.
The arm rack?
The hour mark. The hour.
Yeah.
Okay. You had a rap feature. Fantastic rap feature. Stay tuned. It's gonna drop soon. Do you plan on having any more rap features?
Definitely.
Depends on what happens.
Yeah, I mean, for example, for that one beat where I actually like hopped on the mic and just did what I did, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you were there. You know how it went. Like it was like I get into the studio. You're there. You're like, yo, you need to hop on this one beat, and I'm there like, what?
Yeah.
You know I'm not a rapper. He's like, nah, I need you on the beat, and it was like it was just like a moment, you know. It was like it just felt right. I was like, oh, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it.
Asking shall receive.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like, okay, you want me on the beat? I'll do what I can, and I got straight to like writing and then, you know, doing my thing and whatever, and we recorded that same day.
Perfectly, yeah, laid it out perfectly.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, it was a really fun experience for me, obviously. So I would definitely be open to doing it again.
Nice.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna always say it. I'm not a rapper. I'm really like a producer. My main focus is producing. But you know, I'm not scared to go
on the mic. To touch the mic.
Exactly.
Talk your shit.
I'm not scared to go beyond the boundaries of producing or whatever, right? I don't mind going anywhere like that, and if it ever happens again, it happens again. If I have to hop on the mic again, I will. And yeah, I'm just gonna have fun doing it.
Cris No H. UFO podcast.
It's your boy Baby Izzy.
It's your boy McGuire.
And our special guest, shout out to Cris No H.
Make some motherfucking noise.
Man, this was a fun one. I'm not gonna lie with you.
That was a good one. I'm not gonna
lie. Cris, I gotta put that out there. Is my best friend.
Put it out there.
It's my best friend.
It's all over now.
Damn. Like I want to ask questions, but they're like personal questions. Like when are we gonna go see Shaq? We should see Shaq soon.
We should get an interview.
Oh, we should
get an interview with this guy though.
I feel like McGuire and Shaq.
Yeah,
McGuire and Shaq would click.
We should get an interview of all four of us. Shaq, if you happen to be listening to this, you're welcome aboard to the UFO podcast, man. Pull up, man. It's a
dog. I don't even think he's on social media. I don't even see him on social media anymore. I'm concerned.
Nah, but that would be fun. I think one thing that I'd love to do when it comes to Shaq being on the podcast, it would just be us like sharing all these like old stories of like back in the days, all this stupid stuff.
Yeah, remember when we were on bikes once? Remember when I fell? I hit the brakes on the front, and then I fell off the bike, and I was wearing a fancy watch, and like I fell with my arm in the air. I was like, yo, my watch is okay, guys.
Save the watch. Don't kill me.
Yeah.
See,
there's so many stories.
those are
To be
just-
honest.
Just a glimpse of the previews you can get from the stories with Shaq. And the episode's coming soon. Hopefully, UFO podcast. We are